Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to see what voice flow is and how we can add knowledge base to the voice flow. Before we dive deep into it, let me give you a brief introduction of what voice flow is. So, voice flow is a software which allows you to build chatbots for different businesses. Businesses can be a social media marketing agency, or a e-commerce business, or a real estate business. You can build customer support chatbots for them. You can build recommendation chatbots for them. You can build a chatbot for their internal working. So demand for these chatbots now is very much. You might think that chatbots have been existed from many past, but the point is these chatbots were only conditional chatbots. They used to only work on a certain condition, like if user type this, then we will flow this, we will allow this condition. If user type is typing something else, we will allow something else. But now, after GPTs, what we can do is we can customize the responses to the user, which will feel more personalized to the user, right? So right now the demand for this chatbots is very high, and so this is the right opportunity for us to learn this thing and just be ahead of everyone else.
In this video, we are going to see how we can build a chatbot for a social media marketing agency. We are going to build a customer support chatbot for a social media marketing agency. So as you log into Voiceflow, you can see this. You will see this screen, and you can see here you get a 15-day free trial on a Teams plan, right? So you can use it for 15 days for free. Then you can upgrade it on your preference. So let's just create a new agent here. After clicking on new agent, you can type here a good name, customer support bot for SSML. Get started. This is a point to upload a knowledge base. We will skip it for that, but I will show you how you can do it. Hmm. In the next screen, we can see different workflows and also knowledge. You can see here we have 4 workflows, and with each workflow there is a trigger. So what this trigger means that start trigger is from here you will the bot will start conversation from this point, right? We can see book a demo or submit a ticket or a none. So here this workflow is the most important workflow. This is why voice flow is so special, because it gives us this workflow and we can this workflow is so robust that you can directly use it. You don't have to make big changes for it. You can just directly use it, right? For now, let's just delete these 2 workflows. Uh, so before we just start, let me just show you how it works and what is happening here. So we can test our whatever we have built from here. So let's just see. Tell me about the services. Tell me about order that provide. So the spelling is wrong, but let's see what happens. As you can see, it does not give us any good response because we have not already added our knowledge base. So let's see how we can add a knowledge base. Let me add this chat here. Hmm. So after clicking on add data source, you can see here you can upload a URL of your website. You can upload a sitemap. You can upload a different files like PDF, text, docs, etc. You can also add a plain text. For the simplicity of this video, we are going to upload a plain text. I have created a knowledge base for a social media marketing agency. You can just pause and read whatever I have written. I have created this using ChatGPT, so you can also do that. Or if you're a business, you can use your own knowledge base, right? Let's just copy it, and after pasting, you can hit import. When you click on this knowledge base, you will see here it has converted your knowledge base into different chunks of knowledge, and this is what we actually do when we create a voice flow. So you might think that what we are doing is using a knowledge base. We are training our GPT model that we are going to use for providing answers, right? But actually, what we are doing is using these chunks, we are prompting our GPT model to give us the answer that the user is asking. Let me just show you with the example. So when we after uploading knowledge base, let me just ask a question. What are the that you provide? You can see it has given us a pretty good response, right? Thank you for your question. Here are concise overview of the services that we provide. So let me just ask a different question. Tell me a bit about number five. Number five. What is number five here? Number five is influencer marketing. Let's see if it gives us that. Hmm. So it has given all about influencer marketing, right? So it not only answers response gives response on the basis of current question, but also on the basis of previous responses that it has already given us, right? So it is also considering the chat history. Okay, so but how Voiceflow is doing that? For understanding this, we have to go to workflows and we have to go to canvas. Hmm. So now you might some of the many things that you have to understand. I would recommend you to watch the videos that they have provided. These are so solid. You will you will understand it and also you will be able to build your own workflows. I am going to show you how you can build your own workflows. But if you want to understand it much more better, you can just do that. Let's just go on knowledge base.
So once we click on knowledge base, the intent here is none. So what do we mean when the intent is none? For example, you have created your customized intent, like for example, submit a ticket or a query for a product. Right. So now, whenever the user types something, you will not, and the voice is not able to detect any of the trigger that you have provided. It will trigger the none intent, and when it triggers none intent, it will continue with the knowledge base workflow. So inside knowledge base workflow, you can see there are a lot of things, and I will highly recommend you to watch this video because this video tells you a brief about what is this workflow about. But let me try to explain it to you. So the first thing here is you can see optimize the user's question and detect language. So it is very, but what is exactly happening behind the scenes is we are prompting GPT model and we are passing the query that user has given us and we are optimizing it. For example, uh, I'm talking about provide me services, provide me the information on the services of the business. But this query might be not very useful to understand the context of the question. So what Voiceflow is doing is what this workflow is doing is it is optimizing your question in the way that it provides the whole context and also with the backend, also with the chat conversation, right? So let's see here. When we go into it, the prompt is optimized question, and let's see what is inside it. You can see here we are passing a user role here with a prompt like you are an AI assistant specialized in generating optimal questions. Your goal is to create a detailed question that will yield the most relevant and useful information from the knowledge base, right? So it is querying, it is prompting GPT model to give us the optimized question, and here it is giving us steps that are needed to generate a question. And now here are the examples of the responses. Like you can see, here is the conversation history, right? So using that history, it will also optimize the question, right? We will get a optimized question, and in the next step, what it is doing is it is understanding the language in which the user is asking question. It can be Hindi, English, Spanish, German, etc. Right? So we are detecting the language, and in the same language, the GPT model will respond, and we will send this to the user. So now that we have optimized question and language, but now what we need is based on that optimized question, we need a chunk of knowledge base because it will help us to give the relevant answer to the user, right? So what KB search does is, this is the block for KB search. So what KB search does is, when you go here in dev, you can see here is KB search. What this KB search does is, it takes question and it search for relevant chunks of knowledge base in the knowledge base, right? And here we can set it to per certain variable, and the chunk limit is 4. It will give us minimum of 4, sorry, maximum of 4 chunks from the knowledge base. And if minimum, and if 4 chunks are not able, we are not able to find four chunks, it will just go there and it will craft a response that there is not enough chunks to give you the question, right? So it will do that. So now that we have got chunks of knowledge base plus the optimized question, what we can do is, we can prompt a GPT model, and we can give optimized question and the chunks to give us the to give us the answer that we will show to the user, right? So here you can see we are crafting a response when information is found, right? So you can also see the prompt that Voiceflow has given to them. First is the conversation history. What are the conversations, right? Next is, you can read here. This is a user prompt. Like, you are an AI customer support bot helping a customer with their question. When communicating with guests, follow this guidelines. So these are the guidelines: extraction, response formatting, markdown syntax, and down here it has given, now take a deep breath and respond to guest question in their language. And here we are passing the language JSON that we got from the first step, right? So the GPT will give us the response and we will show this response to the user. This is that simple, right? As you can see. So this is what is happening behind the scenes. If you want to test it, if you want to debug it, what is really happening, let me just tell you. Here you can train agent, for example. Either user is training. Just a minute. So once you train the agent, you can run test. It will take few minutes. So now that the our chatbot is trained, we will go to run test and we can see what is actually happening here. So let's say, let me type, tell me about the services tell me about the that you provide that you provide. So now we will be able to see what is happening actually. This is very crucial part because it will tell you how it is debugging and what is really happening in the chatbot in the backend. So now let me show you what is really happening here. Now you can see, as soon as we type the query, it has detected that the intent is none. It has predicted none. Then we will go to, it has consumes of tokens, etc., etc. And now this is the optimized question. What I typed was, tell me about the services that you provide, and what it has given is what specific services that the platform offer to user. This is just optimizing the question. It is detecting the language that I spoke in, and after that we are doing a KB search, right? This is the KB search that is happening. KB search executed and with 4 chunks retrieved, right? We consume some tokens, right? And the response is here. So this is that effective. You can build this knowledge base by your own. You can do it. If you did it, you will be able to build any workflow that you want. But this is the most optimized one that they have given. We will do few changes in short time, and you will able to know what is happening. Okay, so now that you have understand the workflow of knowledge base, let's just do bit customization from our side. So this workflow is great, no doubt. But there are few changes that we can make. There are few problems in this workflow. Let me show you first the problem and we will talk about the solution. So the problem here is, when we type in English, but the language is Hindi, what will happen? Let us see. Uh, आपकी आप आप कौन सी सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करते हैं, right? We have typed in English, but the language is Hindi. Let's see what it gives us. It is giving us pure Hindi. And we all know that no one talks like this. If you are talking to someone, if you are chatting with someone, no one will talk like this. हम सोशल मीडिया मार्केटिंग समाधानों पे विशेषज्ञता रखते हैं. No one will talk like this. Right? You will not be able to read it. You will not be able to find it pleasing to your eyes. Right? यदि आपको किसी विशेष सेवा के बारे में अधिक जानकारी चाहिए तो कृपया बताइए. So we don't want a chatbot to respond in such way. If the person is typing in English, we have to respond in English, but the language should be Hindi, right? So let's see how we can do that. Let me end this chat. And when we are curating our answer to the user, we have to do some changes. So what are changes that we can do? Where it is telling, now take a deep breath and respond a guest question in their language or in English if the language is unknown. So let's see what we can do is okay. Let us delete it and how can we change it here? So what we can do is we can tell it what to do and also give some examples. So let me tell it what it should do. Uh, but if the user has typed in English, but the language is Hindi, but the language is the language is Hindi, but the language is Hindi. So what you have to do is you have to give uh, you have to give in response that is typed in English, but the language should be Hindi. But I'm pretty sure it will not give us response right away. You have to provide it with some example. For example, user question. user question is आप कौन सी सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करते हैं. Your response should be GPT model response should be uh, हम डिफरेंट टाइप्स की सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करते हैं. And it will continue with the answer here. It will continue with the answer. Right? So let's see if this really works. We have changed the prompt. Let me just run it and train it. Uh, let me just train it. The agent is trained. Let me run a test. Let's see if it gives us. If it does not, we will make some changes. कौन सी सर्विसेज करते हैं. It has detected now. It is going. It is giving us answer. See, दिस हैज गिवन. हम अलग अलग टाइप्स की सर्विस प्रोवाइड करते हैं जो सोशल मीडिया मार्केटिंग से जुड़ी हुई है. So this is what I'm talking about. You can customize your workflow as you want. So this is very valuable, right? Whenever whenever you are selling something on Instagram, you can set this chatbot on your Instagram DMs, and whenever something types about services or anything, they will get information in their own language. So this is very very crucial for this, right? So that's it for this video. We have seen today how you can import knowledge base, how you can study knowledge base, how you can create your workflow. In the next video, we will create our own we will create our own workflow, and we will save details of user in the Google Sheet automatically and using an API call. So let's see how we can do that. So that's it for this video. Thank you.